Have you ever thought about how one single decision, one fork in the road, can literally change everything? Well, today we're diving into this incredible story about two men, an uncle and his nephew, whose one choice sends them down two completely different destinies. One path leads to war and capture, the other to a heroic rescue and a blessing that echoes through history. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with that one big choice that splits our two guys apart. Then we'll see how that choice spirals into a huge regional war. From there, we'll follow a nail-biting rescue mission, watch a super tense meeting between three different kings, and then, finally, we'll unpack the huge lesson this story teaches us about what real blessing is all about. Let's get started with that first fateful choice. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off with two guys, Abram and his nephew Lot. They've both done really well for themselves. So well, in fact, that their herds and their households have gotten so big they can't live on the same piece of land anymore. Something's got to give. So Abram, being the generous uncle, tells Lot, hey, you pick first. You choose whichever part of the land you want. Now, you got to understand, this is way more than just dividing up some property. This is a huge test of character. And it brings up a question that, we all have to face at some point. How can a single choice, based on what we value right now, end up charting the entire course for the rest of our lives? And right here, you see the two paths crystal clear. Lot looks out, and man, what he sees looks amazing. The plains near the city of Sodom are lush, green, tons of water. It looks like paradise. From a business perspective, it's a no-brainer. His choice is all about what his eyes can see. Abram, on the other hand, well, he gets what's left. He chooses to trust not in what he can see, but in a promise that he got from God. It's a classic showdown, sight versus faith. And this one decision is about to have some pretty immediate and pretty devastating consequences. So Lot settles down near the city of Sodom, which, by the way, was known for being prosperous, but also super corrupt. And he's about to learn a hard lesson. What looks good on the outside can be hiding some really deep trouble. His brand new home is about to become a war zone. Okay, so here's the political backdrop. You've got these 5 local kings in the valley, and the king of Sodom is one of them. For 12 long years, they've basically been under the thumb of this powerful king from the east, a guy named Chedorlaomer. In year 13, they decide, you know what, we're done. They rebel. And as you can probably guess, that does not go over well at all. That rebellion kicks off a massive chain reaction. It triggers a huge invasion. Chedorlaomer and his 3 buddies march their armies down to make an example out of these guys. The local kings, they get absolutely crushed in the battle. The invading armies then sack the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, taking everything, all the food, all the wealth, and all the people. And guess who gets swept up in this complete disaster? Yep, Lot, the guy who chose the valley because it looked so good. So word gets back to Abram about what happened, that his nephew Lot has been captured. Now, he could have just said, well, serves him right for the choice he made. He could have just played it safe. But that is not what Abram does. His reaction isn't about calculation, it's all about loyalty and faith. There's zero hesitation. No hand-wringing, no weighing the pros and cons. A member of his family is in trouble, and Abram immediately jumps into action. This shows you he's a man of decisive faith. He doesn't need to be told what to do. He acts on what he believes is right. And get this, he's not calling up some professional army. He gets together just 318 trained men from his own household. This little group is about to go up against 4 victorious kings and their entire battle-hardened army. I mean, the odds are just insane. This isn't a military strategy. This is a straight-up act of faith. So Abram chases this massive army for over 100 miles. Then, in the middle of the night, he splits his tiny force and launches a surprise attack from multiple sides. It is a brilliant, totally audacious plan, and it works. He completely routs the invading army and rescues everyone, Lot, all the other people, and gets back all the stolen stuff. It's just a miraculous victory against impossible odds. As Abram is heading home, the victor, he's met on the road by 2 kings. And this right here is the real climax of the story. Each king offers him something, and the choice he makes between these 2 offers is going to reveal everything about who he is and where his trust really lies. First up, we've got the king of Sodom, the same corrupt ruler whose butt Abram just saved. He makes an offer that sounds pretty fair on the surface. Look, you keep all the loot, all the wealth you recovered, just give me my people back. This is a huge temptation, right? A chance to get super rich off the spoils of war, to profit from the whole corrupt system of Sodom.
But then, the second kind of mysterious king shows up, Melchizedek. His name literally means King of Righteousness. And he's not just the king of Salem, the city of peace. He's also a priest of God Most High, which immediately connects him to Abram's own faith. He doesn't offer Abram loot. He offers him refreshment, bread and wine, and a spiritual blessing, recognizing that Abram's victory actually came from God.
So, faced with these two offers, what does Abram do? He flat out refuses the king of Sodom, swears an oath saying he won't take so much as a shoelace so that no one can ever say, I'm the one who made Abram rich. He wants no part of that tainted wealth. Instead, he honors Melchizedek. He accepts his blessing and then gives him a tenth of all the spoils. He chooses the divine blessing over the material reward, no question.
So, when you pull it all together, the choice, the war, the crazy rescue, this encounter with two kings, what's it really all about? Well, it's basically a masterclass in figuring out where true lasting reward actually comes from.
You see, Abram's story shows us that real righteousness isn't just passive. It acts with courage, not for personal profit. It teaches us that those shiny worldly rewards, like all the riches of Sodom, can be a really dangerous trap. It proves that a blessing from God is worth infinitely more than any amount of money or stuff. And in the end, our choices, whether we trust what we can see, like Lot did, or what we believe, like Abram did, they reveal what we truly worship.
And that really brings it all home, doesn't it? It leaves us with this one big question to think about. When you're standing at your own fork in the road, and you're faced with a choice between the glittering plains of Sodom and a simple promise from God, where are you going to look for your ultimate reward?